It is Quest,
the adventure game podcast.
I was having so much fun this past weekend saying nonsense to my friends in to the tone of joy to the world, and I don't even know. Every once in a while, and I know you identify with this, Jess. I know you know this. Your brain just puts together an idea of how you can annoy your friends.
Yeah, like
and
this.
You're just like, but I would just, wow, that's very impressive, Jess. What? oh. But I was with my friends and I would just say stupid statements to them. Like, so it's like I said here, it's like, this is Quest. I would just, for like 2 or 3 hours, just.
Wow.
That
sounds fun.
For me.
Yes.
That's just one of those things that happens. And I know you do. Are you with me? You've had this happen, right? I'm not insane.
Like specifically with Joy to the World?
No, not with Joy to the World.
This has only happened to me.
Like your brain chemistry creates something where you're like, this is so hilarious. I'm going to make so many people that love me furious.
Yes. Yes. I mean, yes.
That's what being a dad is, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at some level, that's what being a dad is. That is the quintessential dad experience, is mortifying someone that loves you and ultimately has to forgive you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you know. In my case, it was my friends I was in a voice chat on Discord with. Yeah. Which, you know, I'm essentially the dad in that scenario because it was my Discord server.
Mm-hmm. It's welcome to Quest, the adventure game podcast.
It was my Discord, and I was on a voice chat.
See, I am your Discord dad.
You know what? One of my annoying bits when I was in college, this was like a full year of college, maybe just a semester, a bit that I did, I think junior year, is that I would tell a bad joke and then there would be no laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just go, bip, bop, boo, beat it up, boo, bop, boo, like I would just start scatting after it.
Man.
And that just became my signature. I would tell a bad joke, wait for silence, and then just go,
I went through a phase in college where I thought the funniest thing in the world was after saying something that was not a joke, nor included a pun, following it up with no pun intended. To watch people then try to like parse the sentence retroactively to try to figure out what the unintended pun might have been, and just the confusion and frustration that created in everyone around me, I took immense joy in.
That's
no pun intended.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And if you have an annoying bit that you torture your friends and family with, let us know at questpodcast@gmail.com. Because this is a fun conversation. This is like, I mean, because here's the thing, because once again, Jess, you and I would say are fairly similar in many ways, I would say. And the idea, like I just know that we have a bunch of bits we harassed our friends with.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's important to note, I always prefer positive attention. But if I have to choose between no attention and negative attention, I'll take negative.
So
I'm attention starved.
So speaking of negative attention, it's time for a brand new segment here. It's time for some corrections. So I've got 2 corrections here.
I've yet to make a mistake, but I will participate in this segment in the future if I happen to make one.
Correction number 1. 2 podcasts ago, I said that this would be the best year yet. I've been proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
No elaboration required. I'll just stop there. This is a podcast for laughs and fun.
yeah.
But yeah, so wrong. Number
You're like,
2.
next year, sucker.
Yeah, it's, what we Cubs fans say to each other. Number 2, last week in the Quest for Glory 3 podcast, I misgendered a leopardman.
Mm-hmm.
It
Turned out it was a leopard lady the whole time.
It was a leopard lady, and that was also like the plot.
Yes.
Like, because like that's the plot in Quest for Glory 3 is that like you have to pay the bride price in the Simbani village to get her. I'm sorry. It's time for me to sit down and listen on both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's My Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. That's a reference. He wrote the book The Corrections.
Mm.
I think.
Mm.
He also wrote that book Freedom, which I did not read, and I think people didn't care for.
You know my stance. I don't read books.
I read The Corrections, and when I read it at the time, I thought it was fine. I don't know how I'd feel about it now.
Yeah.
If you've read The Corrections and have thoughts, send us an email at questquestpodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you've noticed any other mistakes that Ben has made.
No!
Yeah, I mean, please.
No!
I mean, during that whole Leopard Man fiasco,
what were you doing, Jess?
I was honestly sitting there thinking, it's like, well, I know that there's the leopard woman scene. Have I completely forgotten about an accompanying leopard man, or is that like on one of the other paths that I've just somehow never played? Because you seem so
if you play as a
confident.
thief, it's a leopard man.
Yeah, you seem so confident, and Papaya, our guest, wasn't correcting you.
Didn't correct. But when I spoke, when we asked her on our I think she said that that like she thought it was maybe like a spoiler like misdirect.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. That'd be quite a misdirect. No, I mean, I did get some angry DMs from Corey Cole, but you know how he's just always flying off the handle. He just got super mad about it.
Corey Cole, known for his fiery temper.
And his aggressive.
I don't know him that well personally, but when I watch him on his stream, which I know is not a reflection, that's like,
but people think I'm nice for my streams. They have no idea.
Yeah. I've met Jess in person, and I saw him smash a beer bottle.
That was a Ramon head, though.
Hold it up to my neck and say, like, you better not fuck me with this podcast. Oh.
That was a fun night.
Oh, have you had any interesting meals lately?
I mean, I had a light dinner tonight of risotto and steak. Just like. So right now, like, honestly,
Dr.
I should
Morris
be asleep.
Said.
Yeah, I feel like I've been like, I feel like I've taken tranquilizers before coming to the stream.
That's what they
tonight.
call the dinner of
of gout.
That will really, really pep you up. There used to be here in Chicago. Have you ever had like one of those like Dagwood Bumstead like sandwiches, like a sandwich literally the size of your head?
Yes.
There was this place I went to. I don't think it's around anymore. That like in downtown Chicago that I went to in like 2009 that did those. This is when I worked in an office near downtown, so I'd walk downtown to get lunch sometimes. And one time I went there to get like a lunch sandwich, and like what a terrible mistake. Like I'm still tired from that sandwich. And that was also like, that was from a period in my life. So it's like, I'm like uh uh, like 23, 24
Mhm.
around then. Like I was able to eat pretty much anything without my body making a serious reaction. And like I can't have that much deli meat without like feeling a little bit dizzy because there's too much salt now.
Yes. Yes,
I
yes.
meant like just a normal size, like not
Mhm.
a Dagwood
Not
Bumstead.
a
I didn't.
comically oversized one, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I used to have this problem. I went through a real phase a few years ago. A little, Vietnamese pho restaurant opened up down the street from my
Mhm.
office,
Mhm.
and, that's one of my just absolute favorite
One
foods. I
of
love a
your
good
favorites.
it's yes. The name of the place was Pho You and Me, which only
That's pretty good.
works if you yeah, I mean, all of them have, like, a cute
There's a
little
lot of, yeah, pho, like, there are a lot of pho places that are just
yeah.
like, yeah, we can this is a very easy word to fit in the place of other words.
Yes.
Pun not intended.
But I used to go there for lunch every day, and what I discovered was it's like I mean, on the one hand, like a soup is a nice light meal theoretically, but
Mhm.
the sheer quantity of the bowl of pho was being served basically meant that I was going back to work with like half a gallon of
Like
liquid in my stomach.
sloshing
Yeah, and
about.
this is when my coworker and I coined the term pho belly, which is very much that feeling of just like a light, beef broth, half a gallon of it sloshing around your stomach. And then, of course, when I say go back to work, I mean go back to deliver a
Like
75-minute
lectures.
lecture
Yeah.
with like a sloshy belly. And that is no
Ugh.
way to have to try to teach. But the pho was so delicious and so, like the
And I don't think of
aromatics in it.
pho
And
as
oh,
like heavy, right?
no, it shouldn't be, but that much liquid is by default
Yeah.
heavy. Especially because then I'm up there and I've got like a 64-ounce bottle of water that I'm chugging to keep myself hydrated while I'm teaching so my mouth doesn't dry out. And now I'm just ingesting more liquid. Like by the end of it, there's like water squirting out of my ears like a cartoon
Mhm.
character. It's unbelievable. It was pho belly is no way to live.
That said, it's stew season
Oh
and
man,
soup season,
how
motherfuckers.
cold is it up there today?
It is so fucking cold. I'm wearing long johns. I'm wearing long underwear
Oh man, it
right
was like
now.
23 here with a brutal breeze.
Yeah, it's actually it's in the 20s here, but with a breeze, like it's like whipping off of Lake
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, and
Uh,
that's in
that
Fahrenheit, folks. If you guys are listening in Europe, that's about 24 kilograms.
um but you know what I had what I supped on was
Mm.
I made like your
Succulent lamb.
yes, I supped on succulent lamb.
I saw. I thought it was odd how the first 10 minutes before we were recording, you're just constantly just like licking off your fingertips with all the.
And I want to emphasize for the listener because we do see each other. We have our cameras on, but you don't get to see it. Jess really put some mustard on how he like there's a way when you see someone like kind of pop their finger in their mouth to indicate ooh very good, where if they're like really like popping it in a quick way, it's letting you know like succulent lamb. Mwah, mwah. Like it's like the French kissing of uh that. But no, I made yesterday I made like kind of your basic boy curry.
Ooh.
Just like, coconut milk
Mm-hmm.
with like, just get a whole bunch of peppers, softening them up for a while, then add a bunch of, like ginger and uh garlic and whatnot and a ton of curry powder
Are we
and
talking
then
yellow curry?
and then yeah, and yeah, yellow curry. Though I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to Penang, like I want to add a little peanut butter next time I do this.
Oh yeah,
Penang it a little bit.
I love
If
a little
that's how
bit
you
of
do that. I don't know.
Penang.
Yeah.
I think
But
Penang may be red curry and peanut butter or
okay.
peanut, like some sort of peanut element, but
Yeah,
I could
I
be
need
wrong
to.
about that.
Penang is my favorite, but this was just like kind of the lazy boy one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it did that wonderful thing, which was I made it yesterday, and today it was better.
Curry will do that.
Yeah,
That
it
is the
has
magic of a good curry.
that magic power where, like they were all kind of hanging out in their little stew zone and saying like, "Hey, let's make these flavors just a little bit better for tomorrow."
Yeah, yeah. Let's blend those things. They're not layered anymore. They're a melange.
Yeah, they were melange those spices, they were melanging. My eyes are blue. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
How about I read an email?
I'd love to hear an email. Is it from a
Sometimes,
listener?
yeah. Sometimes I think we do what have you been playing first, and then but this time I decided to mix it up because
Let's
I have
mix
the
it up.
email already pulled up. This is from John. Hey Ben and Jess, I found your podcast a couple months ago and recently caught up on all the episodes. It's definitely one of my favorites. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
I'm in my late 40s and grew up playing a lot of the LucasArts and Sierra adventure games. Somehow I never played the Quest for Glory series. I'm currently making up for it. Oh, awesome.
Yes.
What a lovely gift.
Oh, yeah.
I am also revisiting Monkey Island, as I did play a few, but my memory is awful, so it's great to go back. Be sure to play Tales from Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Would be my recommendation. Even though the first couple episodes take a little while to find their voice. Anyway, some of my favorites of all time, parenthetically, not necessarily the best games, but the ones I had the most fun with back then are Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, Freddy Farkas, Atlantis, Goblin's Quest 3, and many others. I also like to mess with games like Bloodnet and Hell, a cyberpunk thriller, because they had a neat atmosphere, though I could barely run some of them on my POS computer. I've only, I think, ever seen the box for those two. I don't know anything.
I think
really
so
about
too.
it.
I don't know much about them beyond that, but I'm glad to hear from a fellow Freddy Farkas fan.
A fellow Freddy Farkas fan. As I thought, I had previously commented somewhere on Spotify, but I'm having a hard time chasing it down. Maybe give Beneath a Steel Sky a chance someday. Another one of my favorites, mainly for the atmosphere. Thank you so much for all the good times and the great material. I hope you can continue this podcast for a very long time. John. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much for the kind words. Now, Ben, you've never played Beneath a Still Sky, have you?
No. Have you?
I haven't either.
Yeah.
No, never played it.
Especially as like two retro game streamers that also like kind of talk to each other about like, how it's like, I feel like I'm starting to hit. I might be past peak oil for retro games in terms of adventure. That I haven't played Beneath a Steel Sky does feel like a massive blind spot because I do know that's a game that people love. And isn't it freeware?
Yes, there's no excuse not to play it. Yeah, it's freeware. It runs beautifully in ScumVM. Yeah, one and or both of us do need to play Beneath the Still Sky and then probably talk about it on Quest, the adventure game podcast.
Yeah, I should check that out. That's been. I think I think I poked around in it once. And that's it.
Yeah,
like I don't think
I've
I really
almost streamed it so many times. Here's how close I've come to streaming it, Ben. If you want to know about my workflow,
I gotta know.
You gotta know more about my workflow. I'd already made a thumbnail for the VOD in advance of playing the game, and then picked something else to move up in the queue ahead of it.
Wow. What beat out? Do you know what beat out?
I bet if I looked back at my folder of thumbnails and sorted by date, I could give the exact answer to that question.
Yes, I have such admiration for how on top of your bullshit you are.
I'm way too on top of my bullshit, man. You have no idea. It is upsetting. I am
not.
Yeah, let me see here. I'm going to find out. I'm going to give you the answer to this. Vamp. For me.
So what else is in the news today? So okay,
one
of my
favorite
curry mix-ins is cashews. I love having cashews mixed in with like the Thai place that I used to go to near my old apartment here in Chicago. Uh, I would always get their Penang. My Friday
Mm-hmm.
nights,
Mm-hmm.
my Friday night order was their Penang curry with crispy noodles. And what I loved about their crispy noodles was that they would take their normal, like kind of, large flat noodles
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of flash fry them in a big bunch and then pull them out. And so there would be a center that was still kind of gooey and like noodly. And so you had like a nice variety of textures. And then I would get it medium spicy because for a Thai
Yeah.
place, they were pretty conservative with their heat, which was kind of surprising. Um,
I
and
have the
then mix
answering
in
moment if you're ready.
cashews. Well, I had to finish talking
Yeah.
about this.
That's the
incredible
thing. I've had it for a long time, but I was just enjoying hearing about the Thai food, honestly.
But you want to know what? They ended up getting quote unquote better at frying the noodles. So like they were more uniform and all the way crispy. And I always preferred the textural difference. Like I liked, that there would be this big mass of fried noodles, and then in the middle there would be ones that weren't completely fried. Anyway, so what did he play instead?
It turns out I played Simon the Sorcerer, and what a mistake.
What a
Jess.
mistake.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a big womp womp there. That was a huge mistake.
Jess, I gotta say to you, I feel kind of dirty using the Price is Right horn this much because I feel it's like kind of a cliche.
But it wouldn't be a cliche if it wasn't so good.
It is so good, but
it's so
good.
It's
such a cliche. And speaking of cliches, what have you been playing?
Wah, wah, wah. John in his email earlier mentioned that he was going to experience the Quest for Glory games for the first time. And Ben, you know this.
I was very excited. I knew you were going to do this as what have you been playing. I want to talk about this.
Yeah, just last night, I was streaming one of my all-time favorite games. I was streaming Quest for Glory 1. So you want to be a hero. EGA original with the fan-made randomizer turned on. It's the first time I've ever done this.
What does that do? I've never heard of this. I say placing myself as a listener.
Oh, wow. The randomizer randomizes it, Ben.
You're going to have to do better than that, Jess.
Okay. Specifically, it is going to take all kinds of elements of the game. Everything from your starting stats to the location of items within the game and completely move everything around. So when you go to the little seed spitting spore plants that are there on that one screen. They're still there and they're still spitting around a seed.
Perfect.
Yeah, but in my playthrough, when I went over there and I obtained the seed, it cracked open, and inside the seed was a flask of flying water, which normally you would gather from the waterfall. And everything is all mixed up and changed up like that. Even the rewards you get for turning in things to the healer will get you, instead of gold, she gave me 50 rocks one time. And even the game, I started out without a weapon. So I started out without a weapon, without any spells, without anything else. And luckily, when I went to the healer's hut, I picked up rocks and threw them enough times that I finally knocked down the nest. And there was a dagger in the bird nest instead of the gold ring that I expected to find. Otherwise, I don't know how I could have gotten through the game. But here's what's interesting about it. As a randomizer, of course, there are good and bad seeds. There are good outcomes of a randomizer and less good. And I think I created for myself a very unwinnable state, or a near unwinnable. I don't think I was soft locked, but I was certainly, the grind I was looking toward was terrible. I ended up with a character that didn't have a parry skill, didn't have climbing, didn't have magic, and didn't have pick locks. So I was a thief who couldn't pick locks, with no magic, no fighting skills, no real way to train strength or anything like that. So I was going out in the forest. Goblins were just like ripping me a new one left and right. It was hopeless. And eventually I kind of had to give up on that. But I think I'm going to try this again. I think I'm going to try for a better seed and see if I can get a play through this. I loved it though, Ben. It was frustrating and maddening, but in a really great way. Like for a game I love and kind of know inside and out, it was so fun. Suddenly, like just stuff being in the wrong place was enough to make me completely forget the solutions to actual puzzles. It just threw off my entire train of thought.
That sounds. Here's a question for you, because you said, like, so you got the seed and you cracked it open and there was. Does it have, like, did the person who made it like write fun little? Okay, they did. Okay,
They
like,
did,
fun
like-
little custom text.
That's right. And they're all written really well in the tone of the game. Like I would
good.
believe these were written by Lori Cole. Absolutely. Like they feel like real text. Like there's a cute one, like, you know, you go see the Meeps and you ask for green fur, and the green fur still rolls out on the screen and everything when they throw it out of their meat pole. Throw it out of your meat pole.
Yeah, I remember when we were all saying that. 1989.
Yeah, but like you go over and you get the fur and it says like picking through the wad of green fur, you find an undead unguent or whatever.
I loved last night because I was wondering this because I caught the end of the stream. I thought it was really funny. You got the mandrake root, and it was you reach into the mandrake, like to grab the mandrake root, and as you pull, it's attached to a chainmail armor.
Yes, I mean, again, it's kind of fun that they go through the hassle of writing dialogue that, I mean, it's ridiculous, but at least it's in the form of a complete sentence that sounds, you know, like it could really be part of the game. The randomizer was a lot of fun. Like I said, I put myself in a very difficult to win situation, but it was a neat experience. I think it's a fun way to go back and replay Glory 1 if it's a game you already know inside and out. I highly recommend this. And like I said, I'm going to return to it. I think I'm going to do at least one more stream and see if I can get a character that has a few more tools at his disposal, specifically thief tools, and see how I do.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would love. Maybe I should get into. Like, I feel like I should beat Quest for Glory 1 EGA. Perhaps will be a future stream. Who knows?
Ooh.
And then get into, because I feel like the randomizer exists for, like, you've played it so many times that now you have this thing that will really. And I have that for Quest for Glory 1, but only for the canonical version, which everyone agrees is the better one, is the Quest for Glory 1 : Melty Faces edition.
Yes. I think a lot of your expertise will transfer over.
Probably.
It's the same game.
Yeah. I don't know where all the how to fight in it. I'm not gonna learn all that.
Well, it turns out my playthrough it didn't matter because I couldn't win any fight anyway.
It's pretty fun.
I did do for the first time ever at the urging of my chat. I found out, like, you know, the ogre that guards the kobold cave.
Yeah.
You can like run around him and get into the cave without defeating him. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
There's many solutions. You can run around him. You can cast calm. You can fight him.
Yeah, I knew calm.
Yeah.
And I knew fighting him. I didn't know.
I've run right by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really embarrassing for him.
I mean, running right by him is, in fact, the easiest possible way.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I've avoided a lot of fights in my life.
like it's just like zoop.
Zoop.
Yeah. Anyway, that sounds
I made him
great.
look like a damn fool. Ben, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the game Promise Mascot Agency, which is Kaizen Gameworks, the group that made one of my favorite recent games I've sung praises of.
Oh,
Paradise Killer. This was the game they made after it. And so I've been playing it. I would say I'm some ways in. I think I'm like 2/3 kind of looking at like how long to beat and stuff like that. It's interesting. I don't like it quite as much as Paradise Killer, but Paradise, like, it's like a 5-star to a 4-star, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, this is still very good. It just doesn't create as much enjoyment in it. But what it is, and similar to Paradise Killer, it's a completely bonkers, like, ridiculous premise in service of a massive open world where you're just kind of wandering around and just picking up little doohickeys. In Promise Mascot Agency, you are kind of a disgraced Yakuza that is hiding in a small town on an island in Japan when everyone thinks you're dead and you've been in order to save face for the family that you're a member of, you have to raise a ton of money as like kind of a ransom. And the way you're going to do it is by managing a mascot agency, because in this world, mascots are like living, breathing beings, not people in costumes. And so you recruit mascots, and then you find jobs for them, and you send them on jobs. And while they're on jobs, you kind of explore around this island and find, various little doohickeys and things, and, run into little plot, bits of plot and stuff like that. And this is, you want to know what it is about this game that I think actually is like the 4 to 5 star difference for me.
What's that?
Is that there's a little too much actual gameplay in it.
Huge mistake. A lot of games are making that.
Yeah, a lot of games have a little too much gameplay in them, and the nice thing about Paradise Killer was that you could get to the end game in like 3 seconds if you want. It's just in Paradise Killer, you're just wandering around an island and just picking up things. You can just start the end game trial at the very start of the game with no evidence or investigation. You can just say who you think did it, and then the game is over.
It checks out.
This, like, you're raising money. There's like this little, there's this little mini, there's a lot of little mini games in them, and none of them are bad, but none of them are also particularly interesting. Like one of them is like this little card game, which is fine. And there's like a quad game thing that you do at one point. That's fine. It's a little claw game, whatever. There's just a bunch of little extra gamey game things in it. And I'm because in the game, your main thing is you're just driving a car. That's all you do. You're driving this little pickup truck around. A little, and again, big open world. In fact, a bigger open world. And you're driving a car, which is even cooler than running around.
I don't know. Isn't driving a car just running around with wheels instead of feet?
No, you're in a car. There you go.
Yeah, Gary Newman really spoke highly of them, so maybe I'm wrong.
And but similar, it has, as said, it has the same type of really strange and well thought out world. A ton of very interesting characters, really spectacular and enjoyable soundtrack. But you know what? All I want to do, and in fact, I had the choice at the beginning of the game. You can turn down, I think it gives you an option to turn down the difficulty at the start of the game, which maybe that address that 4 or 5 star complaint. But even so, you know what? There's just a little too much game on the bone. I just want that delicious bone.
Bone.
So that's what I've been playing.
Well, thank you, Ben.
So before we get to today's subject, probably related to today's subject, let's play a little bit of The Price is Right.
Okay, Ben.
You might say to me, Ben, are you just, instead of digging through that royalty-free music collection, did you just frantically run through the folders of music you pulled for this very podcast and just land on the Kyrandia folder that you set aside? To that I'd say, that's a scurrilous lie, and I'll see you in court.
And also, if you start accusing Ben of things like that, you know what song he's going to play. You know what he'll do. Don't give him the opportunity. He'll push that button.
I don't have that loaded up. Hold on. All right. Give me that wind up, please.
You know, if you keep accusing Ben of things like this, you know what song he's going to play. You know what? Yeah, you see? Didn't you like Kyrandia better? I mean, this is fine. That's not the instrumental I chose.
This is a perfectly fine ad-lib, Sound Blaster Pro version of this
William Tell overture. Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's Promula. It's okay.
It's so good.
Wait, what happened?
It still makes me laugh. All right.
Okay.
I removed the Kyrandia tune from the. God damn it! Falling apart here.
This is the price of comedy.
This is a crisis.
This is the price of comedy.
Yeah, the crisis is right. Is that a thing?
I kind of like that.
The crisis is right.
I mean, have you looked at the news?
Oh, brother. All right.
Okay. Are you ready? Ben, I am on eBay.com.
Cool.
I'm looking at a listing titled Vintage Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders, Amiga 512K. What I'm looking at here are two 3.5-inch floppies. No box.
No box?
Loose floppies.
Loose floppies?
Loose floppies. Amiga. Now,
so you've got two loose floppies.
Two loose floppy disks.
No, don't say loose floppy disks. Please only refer to them as loose floppies.
Two loose floppies. Just loose floppies. Two loose floppies. We've got two loose floppies, Ben. And I want to emphasize, I don't know if you know what the 3.5-inch disc looks like in this context, but the label for it is white with a red Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders logo, and then the Groucho Marx glasses and a Lucasfilm Games logo, but it's a white background, and it has that discoloration that old white disc labels get.
The disc coloration.
Yes, disc rot, as I like to call it, label rot.
Are there any manuals or anything?
No, Ben, when I say loose floppies, I mean loose floppies.
So that's it. And
it is
for the Amiga.
For the Amiga.
This is because here's the thing. Unless you're completing a collection, maybe you have the box and you don't have the discs. Ostensibly, this is only for someone that actually has an Amiga and is I want to play Zak McKracken, and I'm not going to just
I can look up the
Zak
copy
McKracken
protection
from anywhere on the internet.
You can't trust those websites that are letting you download it. I mean, even GOG. Yeah.
What's the condition listed?
Okay, this is a great question. The condition listed is going to be very good. I would say.
Very good.
I would say that. Okay, here, yeah. I mean, it just has like the copied and pasted like definition of very good condition. It's one of those listings.
Okay.
I would say this is a pretty rough looking disc. Like the label's fully intact, but the rot is pretty prominent.
All right. I'm gonna
Disc 1, disc 2, 2 loose floppies. Then, what is the price of this eBay auction?
And where is the seller? Is this in the United States? Or
this is a great
in
question. This is a
United
Canadian
Kingdom?
seller, but I have the American price.
Okay. Was the Amiga big in Canada? I know it was big in Europe and the UK.
Yeah. Well, Canada's practically the Europe and the UK.
I am going to say
Okay.
$12.99.
Ben, you have way undershot this one.
Are there any bids on this?
Okay, let me check this. Bids. It is a buy it now or best offer. There is no bidding. Hurry before it's gone. One person is
for two Amiga floppies.
One person is watching this. So act
the
fast.
person selling it.
Yeah. Well, you don't know that, Ben. That is technically slander.
Uh-huh. All right. Jess, how much?
Ben, this is going to set you back. $54.
That is horseshit.
And 2 cents. Plus, I need to note. Ben, are you ready for this? Are you ready?
That? Oh, and tariffs.
Wait, yeah. But before you pay tariffs, that's going to be $14.40 shipping.
Great.
For 2 discs. $14.40 for shipping.
How do you calculate the tariffs on 2 loose floppies, like 2 Amiga discs?
Well, let me tell you, you get like a bill from the Department of Treasury and they calculate it for you. No, really, this has happened to me. Did I tell you this story?
No.
So I bought recently a boxed copy of Curse of Monkey Island.
Wow. Let's see this beautiful thing. Have you shown this on your stream yet?
I haven't. This is a secret one just for me. But look at this beautiful like
box.
pristine copy of Curse of Monkey Island. I love it. And I overpaid for it a little bit. If you put prices are at this one.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. But let's assume it was $100 for the sake of easy math.
Let's say how many loose floppies of Zak McKracken for the Amiga did that full box, high quality? I looked at it, that looked like a nice box you just showed. How many copies of Zak McKracken without any documentation for the Amiga did that cost?
Well, let's say that each Zak McKracken disc is what? I guess
25.
$25 dollars. This was about 5 Zak McKracken discs. So from the U.S. Department of
lower than I thought it would be.
It was a crazy low deal for a Monkey Island game. They are so inflated. But I got the bill for the tariffs afterwards. Ben, it was $40, and I was jokerfied immediately on the spot. I was ready to like go and start burning down buildings and things like that.
Jess, why didn't you buy Curse of Monkey Island from an American seller? We're being protected. We're being protected from all those
predatory Canadian
foreigners trying to lure us with their low-cost Monkey Island boxes.
I was fine with all of this when it was just making my groceries cost significantly more. But you like artificially inflate the price of my Monkey Island games in the spirit of protectionism. I mean, the Tri-Island area is clearly a free trade zone, and I don't know why NAFTA can't be too. And look, I know NAFTA is not in effect anymore, but I shouldn't have to pay. The point is, Ben, you should jump on those floppies because there's somebody watching them already. Those loose floppies are going fast.
All right, I'll give those loose floppies a jump. All right.
But we're talking Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders today.
That's right.
A game I love and you don't care for.
No, that's incorrect.
Oh, how's it go?
This is how it goes.
I mean, that's good.
Oh, this is so nice and chewy.
I love those LucasArts drums.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Which platform is this?
This is the PC speaker.
No. No way. That's got to be at least.
Maybe it's a 3 voice. Maybe this is like a Tandy or something.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna fucking make me open up.
Be C64, could it?
This is not the C64 because I almost. This is I can tell you definitively this is not because this is a PC version. Because I just pulled this from like a YouTube, like a long play.
And it sounds amazing.
And I actually went to the C64 version first because I wanted the chewiest, crunchiest version of this tune available. And it was like, well, of course, the C64 is going to be the chewiest, crunchiest version of this. And I listened to it, and it didn't have as much chew. It didn't have enough chew for me. It had a couple little chewy parts that I thought really kicked ass. But I think this version, which this is how I remember, like, and keep in mind, you know, this is like, this is how I remember it sounding on my, like, all right, hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me open up. Do I have this set up on my Scum virtual machine? Because yes, that is the PC version that I pulled it from. The C64 version does sound different. It does use some of the C64, you know, gnarliness in it.
I need that gnarl.
Yeah, the gnarl is good. We all love the gnarl. All right, so now I have I have Scum VM running right now. The Scum virtual machine running Zak McKracken. All right, so he's marching back and forth in the national like in the tabloid. If I hit escape, is it going to go straight to, like, because it starts with him having this discussion with the guy that runs the tabloid newspaper, and then it goes into the intro, and I'm scared to hit escape because I think
don't you hate that feeling when
it
you
will
don't
take me all the way to when he's in Seattle, the start of the game, as opposed to skipping this dialogue so I could verify that what we just heard was what a PC speaker version sounds like, which I think that's what it sounded like. I
don't think we could ever know this. I think this could be unknowable.
I'm playing
this
right
could
now.
be this is an unknown, to quote Donald Rumsfeld, who is a listener.
Yeah, he is. He sent me a very nice letter.
Yeah.
All right, later at night in Zach's bed alone. Ooh.
We've all been there.
Again. Okay. So
naturally
he's snoring. We see him in his bed. We have the beautiful Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders TM logo.
This is great radio.
Yeah. This is exactly what I just played is how it sounds. This is the PC. What I played was the PC speaker. I was right and you were wrong.
That's impossible, Ben. PC speaker sounds like this. Boop, 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 boop. Like that's how it sounds.
I'm listening. I'm rocking out
access
all
game.
over again.
If it was access, it would have like a scratchy voice. It's like Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Welcome to John Elway's quarterback.
All right. It opens with a banger tune on the PC using the PC speaker. If you played the correct version, which is of course the EGA enhanced version.
Ben, this was a childhood favorite of yours that I've only played in recent years as an adult. Tell me about your childhood experiences with Zachary McKrackery.
But before we get to that, I let me run the premise of the basic
Yes.
the log line of it,
Yes.
and then I'll talk about that,
Yes.
because I'm gonna say of Lucas Arts or Lucasfilm games at that point, adventure games. This is probably like this and like Last Crusade are probably like the last ones that people get to if they're gonna play them, any of them at all, right? Like Zak McKracken is probably like, unless like, which it is much more popular in Europe, so maybe not there,
Mm-hmm.
but like at least in the United States, generally Zak McKracken is usually considered towards the bottom.
Yeah, not a lot of
Um,
people are like, I just played Secret of Monkey Island for the first time, and then someone says, "Oh, now you got to try Zach McKracken."
um,
That's not the natural progression.
so Zak McKracken is a game where you play as Zak McKracken,
Mm-hmm.
a
Zachary McKracken.
a journalist who works at a tabloid, like a weekly world news style
Yeah, National
tabloid.
Inquisitor, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's something like
yeah?
that. Based in San Francisco, and you hate your job, and you've been sent by the editor of this tabloid on a job to investigate like a two-headed squirrel and a UFO landing like that happened also in Seattle. And the night before you go on your trip to Seattle, you have this wild dream that has like aliens and this beautiful woman and that kick-ass tune that I just played
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on your PC speaker
Mm-hmm.
plays. I've just verified it with the Scum virtual machine. Um
Mm-hmm.
and like faces from Mars and marks on a world map, and like you have this very striking dream, and then uh while you go on like as you go on your trip, you realize that something isn't quite right. There's something going on. People
Mm-hmm.
in the far off future of 1997, which I think is a great gag, that
Yes.
it's a future that everyone involved in making the game, I'm pretty sure, knew that they were going to live to.
Yes.
Like in the far off
Which makes
future
the
of,
tragic curse of Zach McKracken even more upsetting, that no one lived from this entire development team.
but that their people are acting stupider.
There seems to be a stupidity epidemic.
Yeah. Pandemic, because it's worldwide, I believe.
And it
And
turns out to be a plandemic.
oh, well, and so as you go to investigate, you just like you uncover this enormous globe and planet, like multi-planetary conspiracy run by these aliens that are trying to make all of humanity stupid, and you and three other people have to work together to get all of these artifacts and assemble this special, I forget what it's called, whatever, the special fucking thing to like defeat the evil aliens and make everybody less stupid. And that's the game. And then my story with it, so this was, as this was in that famous to me, very seminal birthday gift that was the Lucas classic adventure collection, that
Mm-hmm.
was Loom, Secret of Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion, uh, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Zak McKracken. And this, uh, and of the games in that pack, I beat 3 of the 5. And this was
Wow.
one of the 3. I beat Zak McKracken, Loom, and Secret of Monkey Island. I
You
did
beat
not.
Loom?
Yeah, I know. I know. Pretty impressive. I did not beat Maniac Mansion, and I did not beat Indiana Jones.
I don't think I could ever beat Maniac Mansion.
Maniac
Like what?
Mansion is like hard.
I know my brain just has. I've played it start to finish several times now, and I still couldn't just do it without a walkthrough. I don't think I'm not built for Maniac Mansion. I wasn't built for Zak McKracken either. Did you finish this just like straight up honest?
Oh,
No
no, with
walkthrough.
hints, because
Okay.
as I've mentioned, that collection came with walkthroughs for all 5 games,
Gotcha.
but they were light hint
Oh,
walkthroughs that
that's
were
good.
written as
Mhm.
narratives, as first
Ah,
person
perfect.
narrative.
Yeah,
So
because that
they
would have been
were,
hopeless in this game without a walkthrough.
yeah. But so the thing about, and I didn't quite touch on this in my little synopsis there, but Zak McKracken is also like this like big goofy comedy that is like a parody of like a lot of like the object of its comedy is a lot of like kind of new agey stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Like you meet like Hare Krishnas
Yeah,
and like
pyramid images
gurus,
all over the place.
and
Yeah,
there are onks, and they're like
yeah.
it's about like the faces on Mars,
Mhm.
and like you go to the Bermuda Triangle, and the artifacts that you get for the thing are all like brightly colored crystals.
Yes.
So it's very like kind of tied up in especially of that moment, like a very woo-woo kind
Yeah.
of idea, right? Like that
Yeah, and it's
there's
interesting. Like that's the moment that would have to occur
yeah.
too. Like what year did this come out? Is this 88?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Let's see. I believe it's going to be 88. Let's see. It's 88.
Yeah.
Yes. Um
S-
yeah, I mean to
s-
me
yeah.
that feels like there's like a 2-year window there where that stuff is so prominent in popular culture and sort of the zeitgeist that you could make what's ostensibly a video game for kids that it would like hit.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, like new age parody stuff. Yeah, it was really all like they parodize it in like on Mystery Science Theater in like an
Yeah.
episode in like 91, I think.
Yeah.
Um it yeah, like, and so, revisiting it, this century, all these years later, it's not really like woo-woo stuff and crystals and all that. Like obviously that shit's all still around, but like the the everybody was parodizing it isn't quite, like it just isn't as big a topic as it was for comedy at at that
Right.
particular moment.
Right. Yeah.
Um but anyway, as a kid, why I liked it. Number 1, I love the opening cutscene where he has
Mhm.
like this weird dream that's kind of like this vision that's
Yeah.
speaking to him. Like it's like, oh, you have to do this. Like, and it's all like it isn't literal. Like it's just you see a bunch of images that show up later in the game, and it's like, ooh. I thought that was really funny and weird. Like I loved um non sequitur weird humor. Like that's always a hit with like weird 10-year-old nerds.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a game that wears its weirdness, like a badge of honor, certainly. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
it
a
is,
very deeply strange game. It's
yeah,
not like any other Lucas game at all.
no. And I assume some of that is probably David Fox as lead designer here is bringing a very unique sensibility to this game. And, it definitely leans into the weird, I feel like, more than it does even like the comedy element. I think the comedy is mostly found in the weirdness.
Yeah, the comedy is found in the weirdness, but there are just straight jokes in it.
Yes.
Like and like the bit at the beginning of the game, there's like when you're in your apartment and like you turn on the TV and the newscasters slowly start to become stupid and then it just ends
Yes.
up like the newscasters just start going, uh like I thought that was very like I still
Yeah.
think that's kind of funny.
Okay.
And then I think my favorite puzzle in the game is when you have to like steal the shit in the airplane and you have to like make things absolutely miserable for the poor
Yes.
flight attendant and like clog the toilets and microwave an egg, which is very funny.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's very
Mhm.
peak adventure
Yeah.
game protagonist psychopath.
Yes.
It's like I have to steal the oxygen tanks on a plane, so I'm going to ruin this poor woman's life, like poor woman's day anyway.
Sometimes you have to do
But
that.
but as a kid, I loved there were a couple things I loved about it. I loved the weirdness and like that it was weird and funny because that's where my head was at. I loved um I liked how big it is. One of the
And not just the
signature
heads.
yeah. One of the signature things about the game, which makes it so kind of gangly and uneven when I revisit it now as an adult, is that I loved like in the game you go to airports and you can fly all over the world because it's like this big scavenger hunt. You're getting all this shit.
Yeah.
Um
And you're revisiting locations
yeah.
constantly and you're hopping back and forth. Even on a
And
pretty optimized run, you're going to be backtracking a fair bit.
yeah, and as an adult, I find that very tedious and boring. As a
Yeah.
child with endless free time and a love of exploring in games like that,
Mhm.
that was really fresh and exciting. Like it's like, oh, I wonder what Kathmandu's going to be like, you know?
Is it also, I too wonder? I mean, we've talked before about our love of travel in these games. We've talked before about like Police Quest as an adult simulator.
Mm.
Is it fun just to go to an airport and buy a plane ticket and go somewhere?
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun also, and this is again, it's funny. The things that irritate me about the game now as an adult were all pluses as a kid. Um the like money management, which ugh. Um it's been like and you break that pretty like
Yeah.
you break that. Like
You win the
and
lottery,
game
right?
lets
And
you
then you get some
you
money that, yeah.
so in the game eventually you get access to the massive Cadillac which the aliens like the head of the aliens is, and of course the head of the aliens is only referred to as the king, and it turns out that he's a man dressed or an alien dressed as Elvis or is Elvis. And but on that space Cadillac there is a machine that tells you the lotto numbers.
Uh-huh.
So see again, like like, and it's like this Elvis is dead thing. Like again, like it's very steeped in. It is so intensely of its time.
It really is. It really is. And like those aspects of it are fascinating as someone who only played this game last year. Coming into it so far removed from that cultural context, you just think it's like, okay, I understand how you make Maniac Mansion. And I understand where Last Crusade comes from. And I get Secret of Monkey Island. it's very hard from the perspective today to even sort of imagine. It's like, I've got a great idea for an adventure game. What if it plays with all of these sorts of new age tropes and it's a strange tabloid story and there are aliens and there are, multiple characters are swapping between like Maniac Mansion, I think to lesser effect than we had in Maniac Mansion. Again, maybe this is something about Bass Creek. Like I found like one of the first things that struck me is I felt like beyond Zach, the other characters you have a chance to play are not particularly interesting or distinct.
So
And
Annie and the college co-eds, which is
right.
also a thing. Does anyone call college students co-eds anymore?
I don't think so. I mean, I hear the only time I hear it is when someone's doing it for like effect. I think you only say like co-eds if you're going for, a sort of exaggerated portrayal. That surely nobody calls uh, women in college co-eds anymore.
Um, and
I got
yeah,
working at college, and I've
it's
never heard it.
Melissa and Leslie are
Yeah,
the co-eds.
yeah,
Um, the yeah, and so I loved it. I loved it as a kid, and I beat it. I played it all the way to the end, and then I watched you play it last year, and you had a very different kind of experience playing it.
yeah. I mean, again, like part of it is I went into it planning to use a walkthrough. So I did have the odd experience of I didn't try to solve most of the puzzles. So I don't know if I ever would have solved them on my own or not. I suspect I would have needed a walkthrough even if I hadn't started out with one in hand. There's a lot of moon logic here. I mean, sometimes you just have to like possess a bird and go fly and do something, or other strange elements like that. Use a crystal to possess a bird. That's just part of the game. Uh, but then it also has stuff like mazes thrown in here, and like there's a maze on Mars. I don't even think that is that complex. It's like a what was it? It's almost like a concentric circle just rendered in two
I think that might have
dimensions.
been the Mayan temple.
Oh,
Is the
okay, yeah, the
concentric.
temple. But yeah, those sorts of things kind of bummed me out. I don't know. This one I kind of felt like it was fighting against me as I played it the whole time. And I think I wanted, if I was going to be struggling so much with the puzzles and the gameplay and the backtracking and the mazes and everything, I wish that the funny bits had been a little bit funnier for me to kind of bridge me through those parts of the game that were a little frustrating, or if the characters had been a little more distinct in voice, that I could have identified more with some of the supporting characters who aren't Zach.
Yeah, and one thing I'll note when you streamed it, you played the
I did
version.
this wrong. I did this incorrectly.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'm. You played the version that they sell on GOG, which is the FM towns,
yes,
the VGA, the
the
256
full music towns.
full music towns, and um where I played, as I said, the 16 color like enhanced CGA, so the slightly like higher res, like the
Yeah,
original version, like the C64 original PC version, is that like low resolution where everyone's a little super chunky.
yeah.
This has like that nice level of detail. Um, I I think the game does not gain anything out of the 256. I think a lot of the, especially from that especially from that period, the I think like especially with the Lucas games, the uh the 256 quote unquote upgrade versions are
Quote
not
and
as
quote.
Well, like it's like, you look at
Yeah,
Loom and you look at
yeah.
Last
Secret,
Crusade
yeah,
and you even look at Secret of Monkey Island, which I
yeah.
think the VGA version of Secret of Monkey Island is pretty good. I
Best of the bunch.
prefer
Yeah,
the EGA version,
same.
but I'm fine with
Mhm.
the VGA version kind of
Yeah,
have it, like being like the canonical
yeah.
one. That's fine.
We talked about this, I
Um,
think, on our LucasArts
yes,
bracket episodes too.
probably.
You get a lot of that deluxe paint gradient
Right.
look
Hmm.
to the VGA versions, and I will say, I think what you end up with maybe in stripping the game of some of its primitive graphics maybe takes away from it in a weird way. Like I think if
I
it felt a little looser in 16 color, it'd
so
be
so yeah, there's 2 points I want to make on that. One is that I think another issue with the 256 versions is that they m- make the palette a lot darker. Like it kind of make like because with the 16 colors, all those colors are really bright. And that's my memory of Zak McKracken is like these bright, bold colors. And
yeah,
I think
lots of
that
bright
palette,
yellows and
yeah, and I think
maroons and oranges and
that palette works with the strange kind of setting of the game. The
yeah, I'm
other
looking at screenshots right now, and I would agree.
yeah,
It's much more striking in 16 colors.
the other thing I'm gonna say about it is that the VGA version looks like it has like the same uh UI as Secret of Monkey Island 1, or Secret of Monkey Island. That's the only one that's called Secret of Monkey Island. Anyway, Monkey Island 1.
Secret of Monkey Island First
Secret of
Blood.
Island Monkey.
Secret of
Um
Monkey Town. Welcome, visitors.
but w- but like Secret of Monkey Island is a considerably more complicated game in terms of like it has dialogue. Like you can't talk. This is the game that immediately follows Maniac Mansion and it pretty much has the same, I think, most of the same verbs, if not exactly the same ones.
Yeah. There's no talk to
Yeah,
as a
there's not a
verb in
talk
this game.
to. There's not like it has a bunch of those like extraneous extra verbs. Like there's just a lot of extra stuff in it. And I
Yeah, take off is a bold verb to include.
yeah,
Put on and take off.
yeah. And my feeling with those like is that if when you play a game with that like interface like Secret of Monkey Island, but it's of a game that's like Maniac Mansion and Zak McKracken, which are like kind of have less kind of story stuff going on
Hmm.
in them, your brain expects more. You know what I mean?
Ah, yeah.
Like, and this is kind of the problem with like the most of the Sierra remakes too. Like, it's like, you play, like the remake of Police Quest 1, and it there's not a ton of game there, and
Yeah.
it feels like you're just getting a very short and kind of unsatisfying VGA game in that, or like Space Quest 1. And it's just like, but if you play the original, which is pretty like functionally the same thing in terms of puzzles and gameplay, it's a satisfying and entertaining game. And
Yeah.
it's just that when you play it with that like point and click VGA interface, you expect more. You expect a
Yeah.
game like that.
You
You
know, an
know?
EGA game's supposed to take a couple of hours to finish. And when you finish in a couple hours, you're like, yeah, that's how long these games are.
Mm.
But yeah, you crank it up to 256 colors, and all of a sudden it's like, I didn't get my money's worth. This is supposed to be an interactive
Yeah, you
computer gaming
expect
experience.
more interactivity.
Yeah.
And like my feeling, and I think I said this when we did the Lucas bracket, so apologies for restating myself. I think the thing about
And we will redo those Lucas brackets because we
no,
got that wrong.
incorrect. But the um but the thing about Zak McKracken is it feels to me like the ultimate like sophomore slump game in terms of like Maniac Mansion is this nice, tight, clean
Mm-hmm.
design. You have this house that you thoroughly explore, and like, you know, it feels so like it feels like a tightly wound clock. Like
And
there's
because even the kids, I mean, in addition to their little special abilities they all have, the fact that they're all basically like high school archetypes means that, you know, I know who Bernard is, even though Bernard doesn't have a ton of dialogue
right,
in Maniac Mansion. I know who Sandy and Razor are. You know, I can
right.
kind of, because again, they're like Breakfast Club cardboard cutout,
Yeah.
you know,
You know, and
high
you know
school
what
stereotypes. Yeah.
Nurse Edna is like.
Oh,
You
I know
know
what Nurse
what
Edna's like.
Weird Ed is like. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
just yeah. I mean, they're basically, I mean, my understanding of Maniac Mansion, just as someone who's played it through a few times, is they're just a bunch of maniacs, man, that live in this big house.
So Zak McKracken is a game where it's like, okay, well, in Maniac Mansion, you control 3 characters. So in Zak McKracken, you control 4. like
That's 33% more for the same price.
And to me, that feels like kind of like the overall thesis of the game, right? Like where it's like, well, Maniac Mansion had 3 characters, so we have to have 4. Like
Maniac Mansion was on 1 planet.
Yeah,
this one's on
so
2.
now this is on 2. Like it 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 is such a maximal game.
It really is. So much so that it to me feels a little shaggy. Like, I mean, this, like, it is sprawling at times in a way that I don't know. I mean, again, if you're a kid who just wants to explore a big sprawling world, I bet that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got a job, Ben. I've got a mortgage. I've got hobbies.
Oh yeah, name 3 of them.
Playing old adventure games.
All right, well,
streaming old adventure games and podcasting about old adventure games.
All right, well, you know what? That's fine then.
That's egg on your face.
Yeah.
The kind you'd microwave on a plane.
Oh no.
It stinks like egg on this plane.
It is honestly. That's a fun little puzzle.
The weird part is when he stops a hijacking in the middle of that flight and on his way to save his girlfriend. No, wait, that's Police Quest 2.
Now, unaddressed mostly is probably like the number one flaw that people would bring up with it. Maybe number 2, 1 or 2, which is that this game has mazes in it.
So many mazes. Not that many, but so many, enough that it feels like too many.
Yeah. And the thing is that they're all not like, both of us have played adventure games with way worse mazes.
I mean, both of us have played the Wayne's World adventure game, which is that the worst maze ever in a game? Maybe.
Yeah. That one's nasty. That one's.
I think it's definitely the worst in a graphic adventure game. I know there's some nasty mazes in some text games and stuff like that.
Oof. That's nasty. That's a horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
That's a horrible maze. This is a
doable maze.
Yeah,
if you want
like, and they're the doable mazes.
Yeah.
Like, and again, the thing, like when I was a kid, I didn't really worry about navigating them because I had endless free time because I was a child.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would just wander around aimlessly. I knew eventually I would end up where I'm supposed to end up. Like I would just like have Zak, or mostly Zak, but like maybe Annie, maybe like, you know, like just have him like aimlessly wander around in those samey corridors until he ended up like in the right place.
So that's kind of how I did it as an adult, because I was like, I started out with the walkthrough, and like most walkthroughs of mazes, it wasn't as helpful as I'd hoped. And then I was getting help from chat, and God bless chat for their efforts to help me. But due to the chat delay, I was usually one screen removed from when they said turn left or whatever. So all of that, just out the window. So I mostly just wandered around until I reached my destination. So I played it kid style.
The probably the other number one like complaint is that it is also possible to soft lock yourself in this game.
Which is funny considering this is the game that like they introduced the whole LucasArts design philosophy, which is like part of the advertising of this. It's printed, I believe, in the manual that comes with Zak McKracken.
Well, I wouldn't know because on the way I have 2 loose floppies and no manual. Maybe that's
sorry, that's the best you can get, and you still owe a tariff bill on that.
Oh, good.
But yeah, no, the whole LucasArts philosophy that they'd eventually, I believe they had a dual ad for Maniac Mansion and Zak McKracken that really spells this out. And a lot of it's like, direct shots at Sierra. Like you don't want random deaths. You don't want soft locks. You want to be able to play and enjoy these software entertainment products, etc. And Zak McKracken is the game that sort of formally introduces this new design philosophy, but it's also the rare instance of a LucasArts game with some real soft locks in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's annoying.
Why are they such hypocrites?
Yeah. Well, you want to know
George
what?
Lucas?
George, this is the worst thing that you've ever been creatively associated with.
Yeah, people have let George Lucas go with no criticism for far too long, and Quest is not going to stand for that. You know what, George Lucas?
Yeah?
When you designed this game,
yeah,
you dropped the ball on this one, pal.
Yeah. You dropped that ball, George.
Yeah. Yeah, George.
George, when you were when you would go and play all the games and put the Lucas seal of approval on the products, which which every Lucasfilm/Arts game had until the very end. And Connect Star Wars had the Lucas seal.
Well, he did the mocap for a few of those characters too.
Yeah, he also wrote a couple of those songs.
Yeah.
I thought that the Lucas seal meant something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe roll up the sleeves on that flannel shirt and put some work into this next time, George.
Yeah, geez, George. What were you, busy with Temple of Doom? Maybe you should have paid a little less attention to that and let Steve take the wheel a little bit more. Like,
yeah. I mean, come on, George.
Yeah, George. What the hell, man?
George. Come on.
I mean, what a dream they had there, where it was like it was just like, yeah, do whatever you want, just don't lose money.
Yeah. And we're going to set you up at Skywalker Ranch in like the most amazing place ever to get to work. And,
by the way, do whatever you want, just don't lose money. That's my life philosophy.
If I break even the day I kill over, you know what I call that? A life well lived.
Yeah. If
Lucas style.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it also has like way more characters in it too. Like, they're not characters that you spend a lot of time with.
Phone company guy.
But like, yeah, the phone company guy, the witch doctor, like this floating yogi, like this, like all these, you can there's the police officer was in like Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I believe
and they
so.
all have like like little funny bits and little like I think it's the witch doctor that like has the Visa logo outside of his hut, and then like the inside of his hut like has a chandelier, like it, like they're what I kind of enjoy about the game is that strange kind of like non sequitur humor of it. I find like, and perhaps it's just because it really tickled me as a child. Like it kind of hits for me in kind of it's like where the fuck did you come up with any of this? This is just weird.
That's the vibe it has, and I think if there's anything that I really like about it is how relentlessly weird it is. Like, this is a game that didn't quite click for me, but I love that it is so idiosyncratic. Like, this just feels like something that probably could have only been produced by this design team at this company at this moment in time. Nowhere else would anyone have greenlit this project. Nowhere else would it have turned out, with this bizarre reply. Again, for a game that at the time was intended for young children, youngish children largely is the audience. I'd imagine they thought they were courting with.
I think they were they probably thought like teenagers, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like,
Ben, at my age, you're a young child up until the age 27, 28.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I'm trying to am I correct in saying that you and I have played all the LucasArts adventure games with the exception of Labyrinth and The Dig?
That's correct.
It's good that we know this about each other. First of all,
that's correct. That was the first thing we said to each other when we were trying to figure each other out.
And we actually said it in unison, which was really strange.
3, 2, 1. Labyrinth and The Dig.
And we really screamed it like high school. I mean, it was like a pep rally. But I mean, this I think out of the LucasArts games I've played, I think I would put this as my bottom pick.
Yeah,
below Escape from Monkey Island. Below, is that my next to bottom pick?
Escape is not great.
Escape's not great. Ben, do we think anyone's still listening to this episode?
Yes.
At some point, we'll have to talk about this more. I don't love Full Throttle.
I think anyone that watched your stream of Full Throttle knows that.
I mean, I'm fine with it. It's fine. I don't love it though. It's not my favorite.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's good.
It's bold stance.
I think it's got, I think it's got some.
What's your problem?
What's interesting about Full Throttle?
What's a LucasArts game everybody likes that you don't?
But what's interesting about Full Throttle is that I kind of think that it occupies kind of a similar kind of thing in my head as Zak McKracken, in the sense of like you play it and you're like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yes. Yeah, who was clamoring for a weird post-apocalyptic biker adventure?
As it turned out, more people than many other adventure games at that moment.
Yes.
But
I mean, in much the same way you might say it's like who's looking for a Day of the Dead riff, kind of thing. It's like, well, it turns out that singular artistic vision really hit with a whole bunch of people. So it shows what we know.
But I mean, what's the Lucas? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I might be with you on Full Throttle.
We should rank these games.
Yeah, we already did, and it was perfect. All right.
There's some regrets. Do
we have any other thoughts on Zak McKracken specifically?
I think, Ben, when you said middle child is the thing that I thought most about as I was preparing for this episode.
Child? I said
you said middle child.
Sophomore slump.
No, wait, you said sophomore slump. Maybe I think I maybe turned that into middle child. Sophomore slump. But yeah, I do think for me, when I think about Zak McKracken, I think of it occupying this interesting space between Maniac Mansion and Secret of Monkey Island. I feel like Secret of Monkey Island is a good example of a game that learned from the successes and failures of Maniac Mansion and Zak McKracken and really locked in this formula that at some level not only became the LucasArts formula, but in a lot of ways just became the formula for adventure games moving forward. Sierra kept doing its thing, but I mean, certainly even today, when you look at the modern adventure game landscape, Secret of Monkey Island is just such a fixture in so many modern adventure games.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you had to get through Zak McKracken to make Secret of Monkey Island at some level.
You don't get a secret.
Yes, you're almost there. You got this. You got to keep going.
Let me land this plane.
You got it.
You don't make a Secret of Monkey Omelet without a couple.
No. You're so close. No. No, walk it back.
What?
Mick cracking a few eggs.
No.
No,
No.
it's Zak
No,
McKracken.
let me finish. Let me back up this fucking plane.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you don't get a secret of monkey omelet without Zak McKracken some eggs.
That's what I just fucking said.
Yeah, and I did it right. Pun intended.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much for listening to Quest, the adventure game podcast. You can send us emails at questquestpodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review and let your friends know about this podcast. We don't make any money on this, at least not at this time. It only serves to coddle our bruised egos. But you know what?
Speaking of which, we don't plug our Twitch channels very often. I'm, of course, Decaf Jedi on Twitch. Ben is PS_Garrett. Come watch us stream. Ben streams every Tuesday night where he plays a mix of adventure games. I stream every Wednesday night where I typically play retro adventure games. It's a real party. You should drop by.
But thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to listen to our brand new episode of Quest next week, where we discuss Space Quest 4. All right, so Miss Astro Chicken, how do you feel about that?
Trash, absolute trash. I love Astro Chicken. You know that.
I know you love Astro Chicken. I don't understand that, but you do. But I get it. It's Lunar Lander. Fine.
Yeah, it's Lunar Lander, it's a worse version of Lunar Lander.
Right.
But Miss Astro Chicken, I feel like there's very little payoff. Like, you don't have to play it to win. Like,
just a little thing in there.
It's just a little thing in there that probably someone spent a lot of time on. Did
they spend a lot of time on it?
Well, I mean, they had to create some assets, and you had to. I mean, probably not. I mean, it's. I bet it's less work than Astro Chicken. Probably, I would bet that Astro Chicken requires some sort of rudimentary physics to run, whereas Miss Astro Chicken is just you move her up and down on like a plane, like a flat plane essentially.
And she drops eggs.
She drops eggs on like angry farmers and stuff.
Yeah, and there's like kind of an arc, if I remember correctly. Like it's kind of difficult to drop, right?
I mean, really, for me, the only thing it added that like Astro Chicken didn't have was the sex appeal.